When it comes to opening up zombies in Black Ops 4, you will be experiencing a new kind of user interface or UI that you haven't seen anything like before in COD Zombies, and it'll say the Chaos story or the Aether story. And the Aether story is the story that we've stuck with for a very long time and has our fan favorite characters and will contain Blood of the Dead and Classified. And then there's the Chaos story, which is the new story that Jason Blundell and his team will be focusing on for the duration of BO4, supposedly. So what does that mean for the new maps for the Aether story, if there are any? Hi guys, it's at the moment Tony. Welcome to another Call of Duty Zombies for beginners when it comes to the storyline, and I hope you guys are excited for this episode and that you guys have seen the last few, and if you haven't, go ahead check it out, and if you like them, leave a like, and if you like that, leave a subscribe. I mean, I would definitely appreciate more subscribers because I only have 13 or so that are actually active, but that's besides the point. Welcome to the video. We're going to be talking about the maps that are possibly upcoming for the Primus crew in the Aether story, and how I believe that Blood of the Dead will be the only original map that will see the Primus crew. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I think that they have to do at least one more map other than Blood of the Dead to describe what's happening with our crew, and there's definitely a lot of ways that they can go about this. But if they're focusing on the Chaos story, maybe we'll only get, one more original map for them, but there's definitely an easier way that they can go about explaining more in our story to just really put a nice little bow on things, because it's pretty obvious that the Aether story will end in Black Ops 4. Now imagine this, and I've talked about this with some people before, and as well as in some previous videos, but think about this for just a second. Well, a lot of the Black Ops 3 Zombies maps were made on the Black Ops 4 engine, especially starting from Zetsubou no Shima. That is the reason that it had a lot of glitches, is because it was overhauled. Mr. Dalek JD recently pointed this out in one of his videos, and it reminded me of this, and I decided, wait a minute, hold on, there's definitely an easier way that they can go about the Aether story. They can give us a Chronicles 2.0 kind of deal, which is a hot topic right now, but in a different way than we'd expect. Maybe they'll port over all the Chronicles maps, and that's fine, but I think that they'll give us our BO3 maps in Black Ops 4, but different. What do I mean by different? Well, as I stated in my Blood of the Dead intro analysis, we couldn't see too much more if they were to bring those maps back. I mean, Zetsubou has already occurred, Gorod Krovi has yet to happen, and Revelations has yet to happen as well. So this is all, of course, assuming that our characters make it out of Blood of the Dead. But what could happen is, since Richtofen knows that the timeline is different, maybe after Blood of the Dead, they'll go back to the Giant and stop their former selves from killing 1.0. And maybe that'll be the point of all the maps. We'll see the Giant all the way through Revelations. And all of the maps may be almost exactly the same except for a few gameplay differences, especially as time goes on. But our point is to interfere with our Easter eggs that occur in Black Ops 3. You know how the Easter eggs go. You've played them or you've seen them played by other people. The new Easter eggs will be stopping our original selves from completing these new Easter eggs, stopping the 1.0 crews and fixing these realities so that when we come to Revelations, we are differently prepared and we know what is supposed to happen, and we'll make sure that it doesn't happen, because we don't want anything like the original cycle to repeat, where Monty makes it out a-okay, and who the hell knows what happens to the kids. And if you don't know about the kids, that's a video I'll be making soon, so just basically the stakes of the universe I'll just use instead, because that's definitely easier to explain and comprehend. Point is, we'll save the day. And that's of course what we want. We want everything to be safe, we want everything to be a-okay for everybody. And it seems like in the cycle it couldn't really happen, because the same thing just keeps happening over and over and over and over again. So now that the cycle is broken, and if you don't believe me, listen to my last two videos, it'll make sense. But from what I can gather, the cycle's broken. We can go back to the Giant and stop ourselves, and then stop ourselves in DE, or maybe just prevent the events of what happens in DE, or maybe follow them through to a certain extent, but do more. What I'm saying is that we can change the Easter eggs that we've already done. So we have these maps playable in Black Ops 4, these maps that we loved so much, especially Horizon Drop and Gorod Krovi. But as time goes on, what can happen is that the gameplay and structure in these maps will change. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, some events are influenced by others, and we see that be abundantly clear in Black Ops 3 Zombies. We do one thing and it prevents something else from happening, and etc. That's the whole point. We're stopping our 1.0 selves from wreaking havoc and all of that jazz. But the thing is that we can start off with the Giant, which will be, just another Doris remaster, something simple. But then maybe from there we see us go to DE, so maybe the Giant could just be like a cutscene instead of another playable map, because do we really need another Doris remaster? I really don't think that we do. So we see ourselves, stop ourselves in a DE remaster cutscene, where we see our premise crew that is experienced with Blood of the Dead kill the premise crew that's supposed to kill 1.0 Richtofen. Now, whether 1.0 Richtofen dies or not maybe is not so important. However, I'm sure that he will, because that's just how it tend to be sometimes. But the thing is that from there we go to DE, takes place in the same universe, things are changed. It's not just the premise that we normally play as going into DE. Rather, Richtofen knows, and as well as everybody else knows what's supposed to happen, so they're just going to go about it completely differently. Completely new Easter egg, same map for the most part, maybe some different areas, maybe some different gameplay mechanics, and you know what, that's totally fine. But the thing is that only a fool would dare to change history, as Nikolai says in the Giant cutscene. So we changed history. Things are going to be even more different now, because this is another change that we are supposed to work with and adapt to. So from there, they go to Zetsubo, and things may be different again. Maybe they know a different way that things can occur, and maybe they don't have to kill 1.0 Takio. Maybe they'll already know how to do things, and maybe we won't even have to play that map. There'll just be an intro cutscene or a separate cutscene between that and what would be now Gorod Krovi, which is something that the rest of the crew, other than Richtofen, doesn't know really happens. So in that, Richtofen knows what's changed, but they go there and they do something different. And what I'm trying to get at is there's definitely ways that they can bring the BO3 maps into BO4, give them enough of a different story, and have it all wrapped up in a bow with Revelations, which will have a completely different Easter egg, hopefully, as well as maybe just a completely different map. And we'll see it all wrapped up in a nice bow at the very end of this Easter egg that hopefully will actually be worth the 2 weeks that it takes to find it. But the whole idea is that I don't see them making a lot of brand new maps for the Aether story in Black Ops 4 this time around. I mean, they want to focus on the Chaos story. They're really excited for that, and don't get me wrong, so am I. However, these characters and this story has meant so much to me ever since the beginning, and I've been following it, and it's what's got me as interested as I am now. So I want to just see it end in the nicest way possible, and I don't think they can just wrap it up with Blood of the Dead. I think that would be boring. So this is just one way that they could go about wrapping the story up, is bringing the BO3 maps in, changing the Easter eggs, changing up a bit of the maps, and then having a Revelations replacement, Revelations 2.0, who knows what they would call it. However, this would also be good for just a Chronicles 2.0, quote-unquote. Please don't make us pay an extra $30 for these, that'd be stupid as hell. And yeah, this is just one idea, and in tomorrow's video, you'll get another one. And that'll be talking about how I don't want Victus to take over for the premise crew, but it is likely that they might. Possibly. I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video to find out. If you guys did enjoy this one, leave a like, and I hope to see you guys soon. This is At The Moment Tony, signing out. Peace.